Dear students, now again welcome to this semiconductor physics lab session, and today we will going to perform another interesting kind of experiment. This experiment is related to the p-n junction. So as you know, as per our syllabus that we have to study the p-n junction, so now we have to perform the characteristics of the p-n junction in terms of a experiment. So as you know that in case of the p-n junction or characteristics of the p-n junction, we have the p-n junction diode, and p-n junction diode, as per the operation, as you know that they have to operate under the forward biasing condition and the reverse biasing condition. Okay. So in general, when we know the p-n junction it means when the p type of semiconductor and n type of semiconductors, they are mixed together, they will able to form, or they can able to form in a resultant form, that is said to be the p-n junction. But as per the operation, the p-n junction that can be operated under the forward bias condition and the reverse bias condition. Okay. So let us start with the p-n junction. Okay. So in this experiment or in this video, we have to first start with the only forward biasing condition, and for reverse bias we have to make the separate video. Okay. So let us start. So first we have to find out the characteristics. So as per your manual, you can see here that we have to plot, or we have to find out the characteristics of the p-n junction under the forward biasing condition. Okay. So as you know that our experiment that will start from the very first thing, that is known as the aim. So aim is to plot the characteristics curve of p-n junction diode under the forward biasing condition. Okay. So in this forward biasing condition, what will be the apparatus use? So as per the apparatus use here, as per your manual, it is mentioned that we have the diode, DC voltage supplier, resistance, the multimeter for the measuring current, and the voltmeter and the correcting wires. But this basically apparatus which we are using, that is for the manually when we set the forward biasing condition. But in terms of advancement, we are using this digital kind of p-n junction device. As you see here, this is the digital p-n junction device, and through which we can able to find out our p-n junction characteristics. Okay. So as per the apparatus used, here we have the inbuilt DC power supply, that is of 0 to 1, or you can say from 0 to 100 volt. Okay. So you can regulate it from the 0 to 100 volt. Okay. That is power supply. Okay. After that we have the inbuilt DC voltmeter. So this is your inbuilt DC voltmeter that have a range from 0 to 2000 millivolt, or simply 0 to 200 volt, you can see here. And then the next thing is your current, for your current. So we have the digital emitter meter. Okay. And that have a range from 0 to 2000 micrometer or 0 to 200 millimeter. Okay. This complete set, in this complete set we have both the arrangement, the forward biasing condition and the reverse biasing condition. So for forward biasing we can use silicon, and for reverse bias we can use the germanium diodes. Okay. So this is your apparatus required. And if you go to the system or systematic part of your circuit diagram arrangement, so we can see here, this is the very simple kind of arrangement as per the circuit diagram. Okay. So generally you can see here that we have the voltmeter. So in case of voltmeter we have the positive and negative. Okay. This is for your forward biasing condition. So again this side and this side, that will be connected through our positive and negative side. This is for your power supply. And again in case of to calculate the current, we also have the multimeter part. Okay. Or multimeter part. So in this case, what will be the connection? So in this case, simply you can see this is the positive side. So this will be connected towards this. Okay. For forward biasing condition, we have to connect this again red side towards the positive terminal or of our power supply. So we have to connect this. Okay. This negative side, that will be connected towards the negative side of the power supply. So this will this will be connected towards the negative side. Sorry. So this negative side, that will be connected towards the forward biasing negative side. And here we have the two different things, the positive and negative side. So this negative side of the a multimeter that will be connected towards the negative terminal of the power supply, and this positive side that will be again connected towards the this side. Okay, so this will complete ready our setup will be there. Okay, this is the power supply button through which we can able to put it off or on through this power that can be applied, and this is your digital emitter button. So with the help of this button we can able to operate both the things, or with the help of this both the emitters that can be operated. Okay, now so as per the circuit and as per the theory, now we have to come to the forward biasing condition. So as you know, when we have the PN junction in forward biasing condition, the PN junction diode that can conduct only in one directions. Okay, so here we have to study the voltage and current V and I characteristics. Okay, so in case of this V and I characteristics of your PN junction, now what we have to do, so in case of this, as you know that we are using the forward biasing, so the VI characteristics of the diode are basically the curve between the voltage across the diode and the current through the diode. Okay, so when the external voltage which is considered to be 0, the circuit is open and the potential barrier does not allow the current to flow. Okay, therefore the circuit current is considered to be 0 here. Okay, but when this P side that will be anode side is connected towards the positive terminal, and the N side, it means cathode, that will be connected towards the negative terminals of the battery or the supply, then it is the condition for your forward biasing condition or forward biasing setup. Okay, so the potential barrier is reduced when the diode is in the forward biasing condition, and at some forward biasing condition the potential barrier altogether that will eliminated, and the current that will start flowing through the diode. Okay, and also in the circuit. So that's why in this state we can say now the current which is flowing through the forward biasing condition. Okay, so when this voltage, as we have talking about, when this voltage or the forward voltage that will be flowing, then in this case the voltage which is required for this operation and the potential barrier that can able to eliminate this, and the current that can be flow, then this voltage is known as the threshold voltage. Okay, or simply in somewhere it is said to be the cut voltage or knee voltage be also. Okay, so it is practically same as the barrier voltage that can be also be represented as the VB. Somewhere in books it is also be written as VB. And one very important thing, here we are using, in case of forward biasing condition, we are using the silicon diode. So as per silicon we have to use the voltage as per the silicon material. So as you know the band gap is 0.7, so accordingly we have to measure the voltage up to the 0.7 volt. Okay, so now we have to start with the readings. Okay, so here you know this is the power supply button, this is for your regulation of voltage, and this is for the regulation of your current. So as per the condition of forward biasing condition, when the forward biasing, under the forward biasing condition, when the current which will be increasing, it means the increasing forward voltage is also be there. Okay, and as per the forward applied voltage which is increased beyond the threshold voltage, the forward current that will be rise exponentially. So that will be see from your observation table. So here you can see this is the simple kind of observation table, and here simply we have the serial number, forward bias voltage and forward current will be there. Okay, so I have mentioned here 1, 2, 3, 4 up to the 7, because as per silicon we have to take from the 0.1 to the 0.7 volt of the value, and respectively we have to find out our current. So now come to this point. So here I have, you can see here we have the both the facility to measure in millivolt and volt. So here I have mentioned my knob into the volt side. It means we have to simply collect the voltage as in volt, and here we have to take in micrometers and millimeter also. So simply I have put my knob over the millimeter. Okay, so in this case it is again be easy to calculate this. So now start with this experiment and we can increase one by one. So here you can see the initial value is 0, okay, or 0.0. Okay, so now we have to start with the 0.1. So here I have to move my knob and you can see here that this is the value for your 0.1. So as per 0.1 we have the value 0.09 or 0.1. Okay, so you can take suppose I take initial value of 0.9. okay, now we have to increase this voltage, so this now it is 0.2. So as per 0.2 we have the 0.10. Now again we have to increase up to 0.3. It is increasing in a very minute way, so that's why you can have some repetition of the values also. So again for 0.3 it will be 0.10, but if we change from the 0.4 it will be 0.11. okay, now again I have to go towards the 0.5 value. So so 0.5 you can see here, this up to 0.5 we have the value 1.08. okay, we have the value for 0.5 we have the value 1.08. now again we have to come to the next value of minute change with 0.6. okay, so this will be 1.77. okay, it means as you, if you remember, in case of silicon we have to very closer to the value of 0.7, so that's why now again I have to increase the values, but you can see here that this value is increasing, but this is up to 0.6, so this value is increasing but this will remain fixed, this is not increasing. It means voltmeter side is not increasing, but when I will operate it, you can see here I am moving continuously, so you can see here this value is continuously be increasing. okay, okay, so you can see here this value is continuously increasing. okay, again I am just putting increasing the voltage value, and now you can see there will be the small kind of change when it getting the 0.6 to 0.7. so again now you can see this is the 0.7 value and 0.7 and in case of 0.7 it is 10.9. okay, so when we increase much more value, you can see here I am continuously moving my knob, so when I am moving this, okay, this will comes increasing and this will be become 1. It means when our digital meter that will show you 1, it means this is the linear part, it means the value that will remain same or constant, because as per our silicon we have the maximum value up to 0.7, so as per 7 this will completely show you the 1. So if you go through this picture of IV characteristics, it means that this value is completely be constant and that can be considered as the 1. Up to how much amount of voltage I am increasing, there will be the no further increment, okay, because as per the property of silicon. So here we can use this value of 0.1 to 0.7 and accordingly we have the respectively current, and if we plot the graph that will comes as a this much amount. So with respect to this we can able to find out our forward biasing characteristics. Thank you.